Hey guys, welcome back to Reignited. Now we're going to do something a little bit different in this episode. If you just want to watch me work on a vehicle, go ahead and click on this video right here. I think you'll really enjoy that one. But in this video, we're going to talk about how I never actually wanted to be a mechanic, but somehow I ended up where I am right now. So how is it that I never wanted to be a mechanic, but this is all you know me as a mechanic? Well, way back when I was young, I was always interested in mechanical things. I was always interested in how things worked. And when I turned 13 is when my passion with cars really started to grow. I was so fascinated with cars. I thought they were amazing. I wanted to know ever more about them. So you would think that it would be a natural progression for me to want to become a mechanic to actually get into that field. But there was two things holding me back from that. The first of those was because I had always heard that you don't want to make your passion or whatever you love to be your job, because then you're going to end up hating it. And honestly, that scared me. I was like, I don't want to end up hating this. This is something I truly love. So I shied away from it for that. But if I'm really honest with myself, there was another reason why I didn't want to be a mechanic. And that was because I would say the overall perception while I was growing up in school was that you only were a mechanic if you were too dumb to get a better job. Now, whether that perception came from the teachers or from the students, I don't really remember, but I just remember that being the case, that was the idea behind it, is that you were too stupid to actually do something better with your life, so you ended up being a mechanic. So, being a rather prideful 18-year-old at the time, I was thinking, hey, I'm smarter than that. I'm gonna get a job working with my mind rather than with my body. I really put myself above that. So what was my compromise then? Well, I decided that if I could be around cars but not physically working on them, that's gonna be a great solution. So I got a job at a dealership on the administrative side. Now, I've done all kinds of jobs on that side. This is back in 2002. I got a job at the dealership and I started working there as a warranty administrator. And then I've also been a dispatcher. I've also been a service writer. Now, all of these jobs are good jobs and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, but our story really starts to move forward in 2009. Now, those of you who are around in 2009, you will know that that is when the economic crash happened. And that is the time when I also lost my job. I was actually working for an RV dealership at the time and I was a warranty administrator, and the times got tough and I was let go. And it was at that moment that I realized that all my planning about making a living with my mind rather than my body had backfired tremendously. I have never been let go from a job before ever in my life, and it was absolutely devastating to me. Now, at the time, I was newly married and I had a 1-year-old daughter. So here I am, I have no form of income to actually support my family. My wife is working full-time and I am home taking care of our 1-year-old daughter. Certainly nothing wrong with that, but for me personally, I felt like such an utter failure. Now, to set the scene for you guys, in 2009, during that financial crisis, I distinctly remember going to an interview for a part-time job that had 400 applicants for that one position. Now, in 2010, I managed to make $15,000 total for the entire year. I consider 2010 to be the worst year of my life. Now, at the same time, we were living in a single-wide trailer on my parents' property, and I am so grateful for them that they had that available for us, but trust me, I was in a low place. But I will say I had an awful lot of time to reflect on the choices I made to that point. And one of the things that I realized was that of all the jobs I was doing at the dealership to that point, all I had were replaceable skills. And when the times got tough, I could be cut loose like so much dead weight because I didn't have anything that they really needed or that could be easily supplied by a different person down the line. Now, that was a difficult year for me in a great many ways, but most of all, I just felt like I was failing my family, and I made a promise to myself. I promised myself that no matter what, wherever I went from here, I would get a job that I would have skills that could not be easily replaced, that they could not cut me loose at the drop of a hat. I would make sure that I was indispensable to them so that if this situation ever happened again, I would not be one of those casualties. Now, at this same period of time, I lost any pretense of caring about what people thought about me or my choices if I was a mechanic. You realize real quick that none of that stuff matters. What matters is taking care of your family and supporting yourself. Now, here's how things started to turn around for me. I went back to work at my original dealership over on the coast of Oregon. So I went to my old service manager and I said, hey, look, I will take anything you've got. Doesn't matter what it is. I just want a job. So I got a job in the wash bay. Here I am in my mid-20s. I'm back in the wash bay. A little bit demoralizing, but I knew it was a start and it's something I can build off of. For a short period of time, I was allowed to work in the body shop area, helping our painter in there. And then the real break came. Our transmission tech, he left to start his own business, his own mobile business. My service manager called me into his office and said, "How would you like to be our new transmission tech?" And I told him, I don't know a thing about transmissions, but yes, absolutely I want to do this. Now during my training, I tried to take every single class or course that was offered. I wanted to get as leveled up as I possibly could, to be as irreplaceable as I possibly could. Now here 12 years later, I've been fully certified by Chrysler for many years, and I could go to any Dodge dealership in the country and get a job. It's about as secure as you're going to get in this world. One of the main things I've realized all these many years later is that everyone always needs a mechanic. No matter where I go, as soon as people figure out that I'm a mechanic or hear from someone that I'm a mechanic, the very first thing they ask me is, do you do any side work? It's funny, when you become an adult, it's no longer looked down on as a profession. It's a job that is in demand. People require your services. Now, why am I even making this video? What am I talking about here? Am I just trying to talk about my own accomplishments and toot my own horn? Absolutely not. What this video is a call for help. My industry, like a lot of industries right now, is absolutely dying. There is no young people in the pool right now who want to come in and be these mechanics. We have no one to take our place right now. And I think there's a variety of factors for that. A lot of societal pressures that are put on people to make them think, yeah, I don't think that's something I want to do. I'm here to convince you guys that this is absolutely a valid profession, it's a needed profession, and it's one that you can absolutely support your family on. Of course, you're not going to get rich. You don't need to be rich. What you need is to be able to support your family and have a little bit left over to do the things that you enjoy. Now, like any profession, there is obviously going to be some pros and cons to it. But I am here to tell you today that if you do have an interest in automotive things and you want to pursue it, don't let anyone hold you back from that. Keep pursuing that, because I'm telling you, those same people who might have made fun of you for trying to be a mechanic in your younger years will be the exact same people who are coming to you for help in your 30s saying, will you please possibly work on my car because I just need a good mechanic. And to bring you back to the beginning, when I said I didn't want to be a mechanic because I was worried that it would affect my passion for cars. Well guys, I work full-time at a dealership. I fix cars all week long, and then guess what? I come home on the weekends and make videos for YouTube about fixing cars and modifying cars. Do you think it's affected my passion? It has. In fact, it has increased my passion tenfold. I know more about cars than I ever have before, and I'm continuing to learn, and that's only possible because I made that leap to become a professional technician. If this is something that you have an interest in, that you have a passion for, don't be afraid of it. It can take you in a lot of different opportunities. The more knowledge that you get, the more opportunities you will give yourself to move into different fields of automotive, and I just think it's absolutely fantastic. Obviously, there's negatives that come with it too. There is with any profession that you're gonna have out there. I just want you guys to realize that this is a valid and a viable profession, and I want you to think about it seriously. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this little story time. We'll see you next time on Reignited.